Good morning, Card Community. It's RJ back in the video. Let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day, something I picked up in trade recently. 1986 Topps Tattoos. This is a panel of a number of tattoos, one of them being Mike Schmidt. A couple of different players featured here. Some baseball imagery as well. Each image is perforated, so the player's face down the middle is perforated, but even these little images, little minis, there's perforations around them so you can detach them. And if you remember doing temporary tattoos as kids, stick it up on your arm, get a wet rag, place it on top of that tattoo, and the image transfers to your arm or leg or wherever you crazily wanted to put it on there. I used to love doing these when I was a kid. Temporary tattoos were always fun. I have the whole set of these panels already. What I didn't have was a panel for my Mike Schmidt binder. I did have a loose Mike Schmidt tattoo, just the one piece in my binder. Thought it'd be cool to have the panel as well. They will both be in my binder separately. Similarly, another Mike Schmidt item I picked up in trade, this Baseball Superstars disc. This one is unopened. It is a 2-panel disc with, actually this might be a 1-panel disc if I remember correctly, seeing it on the bay. It's just this player along with the thing on the back here, a little something you could send away for with a couple bucks. And this is the Mike Schmidt version, done by our favorite friends over at MSA, Michael Schechter Associates. The back looks like this. I have a proof of that disc. You know, you can see it's a square of cardboard they would cut down at the factory at some point and make into that panel. You can see it had his career stats through his 1986 stats. You can see here is the 87 version. Interestingly, these discs were issued by Michael Schechter. Obviously, he did these to sell to manufacturers of food products or whatever, to include it with their product. And if they didn't want to pay a little extra to get their name on there, it just said Baseball Superstars. But some of the stores actually went and paid a little extra to get their name at the top. One of them being Weiss Wieners, another being Our Own Tea, wherever that was from. And I do know there was a third that I see often, but it's not ringing a bell at the moment. So they did, this is the 87 version. The 88 version with blue, bigger, bolder text and fonts and whatnot. So, and again, even in the 88 style, it was Superstars, Baseball Superstars, and then a number of different players and a number of different manufacturers of products that were advertised up there. So this is my other random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Today's random baseball item of the day. I was looking at this card and wondering about it, pondering what I saw until it occurred to me to turn it over and look, which explained it. This here is a card of Bruce Chen, pitcher with a number of different teams, had a brief stint with the Phillies at one point. This is his 2006 Upper Deck card, and on the front of the card, he is shown holding a Panamanian flag. And I'm trying to think of why. Why would he do that? Why would he be shown there? And of course, duh, if you look at the back, Bruce Chen was born in Panama. No idea how that came about. I did not research it, didn't bother to look it up. I might do that at some time, but he is born in Panama. You can see it down here. He played with the Phillies briefly or part-time in 2001. So I just thought that was a cool image. Interesting to see an Asian man born in Panama. All right, today's trivia question. The man up on the screen there, or up on the screen, so used to being in the computer age, aren't we? The men on the stand there are all members of the 3000 Hit Club. You have your 1992 Wade Boggs card, Topps Wade Boggs, 1992 Score Cal Ripken, and your 2001 Allen Ginter Derek Jeter. So those 3 cards are up there and on the board, and your prize for answering correctly this question. Of the 3,000 Hit Club members, which one has the fewest career total of strikeouts? So not talking about strikeout percentage. Don't do the math. I don't care. But the overall fewest number of strikeouts. Now, I don't know. I haven't looked it up myself yet. Figured it'd be an interesting question. What do I want to say? It's doubtful Ty Cobb and Pete Rose are the answer, not because they struck out too much, but because they played so long. These are the guys who have 4,000 career hits, so it's probable they played longer and accumulated more strikeouts simply by a percentage of their at-bats. So tell me, out of all the 3,000 Hit Club members, which one had the fewest total of career times striking out? All right. Send me that answer via email. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question. And you will have today and tomorrow to answer, and we will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? So good luck to everybody on that. Today, what I want to show off, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of videos recently. Somebody was holding a contest talking about cheap slabs. I'm going to talk a little bit about cheap slabs today. The contest is over, but I wanted to show off something I'm doing, another project I've undertaken. This one doesn't have an end to it. It's just like something to do, and I think it's a good long-term investment, so to speak. So here are some cheap slabs I have, and it's interesting to know about these weird grading companies. I got a couple of these sent to me by a third party. So here we have a graded card from USA Sports Cards, 1999 Bowman Chrome SC3 Scout's Choice, Pat Burrell. And it got a mint 9. All right. And I've never heard of USA Sports Cards before. If you look at the top there, Ultimate Sports Cards Authority. I don't even know if they still exist. I don't know from what period of time they did exist, if they've collapsed by now. But here you go. This is a graded card from USA Sports Cards. Similarly, another card here. This one got a 10. Ooh, look out. 1982 Topps Steve Carlton from WCG. If you look on the back, World Class Grading, WCG. It is a PSA Mint 10, or PSA, a WCG Gem Mint 10. The problem with that is no way. If you look at this card, you can see the centering is off top to bottom. Everything else looks okay. Nothing jumps out at me like, I can't believe it got that grade, other than the centering. I don't know if this would be an 8 or a 9. The edges and corners do look fantastic, but it ain't a 10, and it's not one of those big grading companies. So I doubt the cost is the price is very much. So that's another cheap slab. Then we got a CSG, which has become a bigger player. This is one of their earlier grading, you can tell. I got a mint 9 on this one for the Pete Rose 1982 Topps Kmart box set card. This one I talked after I first got it. I was like giddy because I thought this was a PSA card in a mint, like a 10. I just totally blew it in my I was having a brain fart day that day, and like the day I got it in the mail, and I looked and saw what it was. I was like, crap, and I went on to the bay right away and picked up a 10 that was available. Anyway, another cheap slab right there. Lastly, I got this in a Fairfield box. You know, if it wasn't Fairfield, there's some company a couple of years ago was guaranteeing a Gem Mint 10 graded card in their packages. And I got this one, a BCCG, and one of the Beckett ones. And it's a Aroldis Chapman World Series card. This is the 2006 Cubs card. Yeah, Aroldis Chapman. WS5 insert set of some sort. Gem Mint 10, BCCG. And again, this is the freebie thrown into that card set, or that card box at Fairfield or whatever it was. So anyway, now let's take a look at some other slabs which are more interesting. So I was on the bay and I saw a card that was going for like next to nothing. And since it was my guy, Mike Schmidt, and it was an older, what some people call vintage, I don't know that I would call vintage, but it was a vintage card. The 1975 Topps Mini Home Run Leaders in a PSA 6, but again, it's pretty sharp. It looks pretty darn good for a PSA 6. I don't know why I got that grade. Don't care. It was going for like less than 20 bucks. So I snagged it. At the same time, I saw this one. 1979 O-Peachy Mike Schmidt. It was an 8, but off-center, with the off-center qualifier, so that's why it went for next to nothing. But I thought that was pretty awesome. And it occurred to me what I should start doing is investing, so to speak, in some very inexpensive cards that have a good chance to go up in value. What did I decide to do? I decided to start buying any Mike Schmidt card I could find on the bay that was selling for less than $20. So since that time, I've picked up 3 more. One has not yet arrived. The other 2 have. First one I picked up, 1987 Topps the All-Star in a PSA 9. There you go. Obviously, I shouldn't say I already have this one, but not graded. But this one is a nice graded example, but it's a PSA 9. The other one, 1987 Classic Green, Mint 9. And it occurred to me that if you're going to talk about the value of graded cards, if it ain't a 10 or a 9, the value stinks unless it's a vintage card. You know, you talk about it, or a crazy rookie. So, you know, any kind of 8 Babe Ruth card's going to cost you like 50 grand. An 8 Mickey Mantle, you know, 52, whatever it's going to cost you. I've seen really the old vintage cards are going to cost you a pretty penny, no matter what the year or grade. But these modern cards, PSA Mint 9s, there's a lot of upside to them, I think. So I've taken it upon myself that as I'm going through the bay occasionally, I will look to see if there's any Mint 9s, PSA only. I'm only investing in PSA cards for this project. And I'm just going to start buying them and just putting them aside somewhere and seeing what happens. They're not part of any PSA set registry for me. It's just something I'm doing for fun. So that's all I had for you today. I hope you appreciated that. My own little nod to the vintage, or the cheap slabs discussion from the other week. So hope you enjoyed that. Please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community, all right? On Sunday, we will have our trivia recap, and we'll find out who is taking home all those great prizes. So stop back again on Sunday. Thanks for tuning in once again, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.